Doble a la derecha, I'm telling you to what? Turn right. Right, exactly. Turn right. Y turn right, doble a la derecha, es un mandato. ¿Cómo se dice mandatos en inglés? Turn right. Commands, right? And we saw mandatos last fall in our chapter with like lavar la ropa, sacar la basura, limpiar la casa, right? The vocab with the household chores. That's when we learned commands. But last fall we learned ustedes commands, usted commands, formal commands. Go to the yo, drop the yo, change it to the opposite of what we know. Doblar, doble. Cruzar, cruce. Parar, pare. Seguir, siga. Por ejemplo. You remember this a little bit? Porque hoy nosotros vamos a ver los mandatos informales, okay? Los mandatos informales. So formales is like usted and ustedes. When I handed out the maps, I used an ustedes command. I took the verb escribir, which means to write, and I said no escriban en los mapas. Caroline, ¿está bien? No escriban. I was telling you not to what? Don't what? Write on the maps, right? Exactly. Está bien, Caroline, está bien. No pasa nada, tranquila. So no escriban. Ustedes, formal commands. But now we're going to talk about mandatos informales. When we hear the term informal, we're still talking to someone in second person, okay? But it's not plural. I'm not saying y'all, because y'all in Spanish is ustedes. Informally, second person singular, we have two options. We have usted or we have tú, right? And so we use this classification, formal, usted, informal, tú, because in Spanish, there's two different ways of talking to people. ¿Entienden? It's just like, ¿cómo estás? Versus, ¿cómo está usted? Or, ¿cómo te llamas? Versus, ¿cómo se llama usted? Okay? So in Spanish, in general, it's formality. So which one would you use with your best friend? Tú, right? Which one would you use with the police in Mexico? Usted, right? Exactly, okay? So we want to demonstrate formality, and in Spanish, we can demonstrate formality with our verbs. Our verb forms demonstrate formality, okay? And even when we're telling somebody to do something, and in this context, we're telling somebody that we know well, or it can also be culturally. In Costa Rica and Colombia, they only use usted. They never use tú. But in Spain, you're only going to hear tú. Or in Mexico as well, you'll hear tú. So it's cultural, but it's also like formal and informal. But these, today, we're going to focus on the tú form. Okay, so is everybody with me? Telling someone you know to do something or not to do something. Okay, typically with friends, classmates, etc. So like, you know, a mother and a child. Don't forget your lunch. That would be an informal command in Spanish because it's short and sweet. The verbs, though, that we know, going to the yo, dropping the yo, changing them to the opposite of what we know, it's just like subjunctive. So the nice thing about half of what we're going to learn today is the verb conjugations are the same, and you'll see. And then the other half, you do have to learn something new. So I'm going to start with the negative ones, telling people not to do something, because the negative ones, you'll see, are just like subjunctive. Okay? Or just like our formal commands, except for they're in the tú form. And the context is la clase de español. So locate to no debes hacer. So, primero, no hables inglés, ¿no? So, no hables inglés is saying what? Don't speak English. But who am I talking to? All y'all? Or like Caroline?
All of us.
All below.
No hables inglés.
You're just talking to Caroline.
Caroline, right, exactly. Because my verb is in what form? Ustedes or tú? Two, it's in the to form. How can you tell? The S, right. We know S's are the to form, like como estás, como te llamas, right? Hablas español? Sí. Okay, so no hables inglés. If it was in the ustedes form, it would have the letter N, right? That's plural. S is actually singular with verbs, even though S's are usually making nouns and adjectives plural. With verbs, it just puts them in the to form. No hables inglés, no escribas mensajes de texto durante la lección. So I'm saying what? Right, don't write text messages. So like, perfecto ejemplo, Jake, no escribas. Culpable, guilty. So Jake, no, perfecto. Muchas gracias, Jake. Like, el ejemplo, perfecto, no? Muchas gracias. Que amable, that was almost staged. So Jake really was just trying to help the lesson. That's supposed to be a
He should get a peso.
I know, Jake.
I think he should get a peso.
No pesos. Okay. Just being friendly, but we all know the truth. Jake, no escribas mensajes de texto now. And you know I'm talking specifically to Jake because it worked out perfectly. But also, we can also tell that I wasn't talking to the rest of you all because of escribas, right? If everybody was on their phones during that slide, I would say, clase, chicos, no escriban mensajes de texto. But I only needed to single out Jake. Okay. No vayas al baño durante la lección is saying what? You should see, like, when I Google image, like, student in the bathroom, I'm like, oh god. Oh no. This is the most. This is the most.
2000s middle school pictures to in
With like the
middle
written
school.
things on it,
Yeah.
like on Facebook with like the neon writing, and it was like friends for like the number 4,
Forever.
and then life would be like LYFE.
Oh.
I don't want to
Me-
I
know.
don't have that because my
Me
mom
either.
didn't let me have a Facebook till like.
Oh, okay. But no bias means what?
You're going to.
Don't go.
Don't go to the bathroom. Like when I was in Costa Rica, I was like leaving for spring break, and I'll never forget like these cute little, kids were like, no te vayas, no te vayas, no te vayas, and they were saying what? Don't go, no te vayas. Kids are super affectionate. I know, it was like the sweetest thing. And then when I left, they called me Teacher Alison because in Spanish-speaking countries, teachers they say prof for men and profa, and then they use their name, like Profa Sofia or Pro Jake. So when they call me their English tutor, they call me Teacher Alison because they use first names with their teachers in Spanish-speaking countries. So they're like, no te vayas, and it was super cute. And then when I left, and I was like in a car with my friends, they were like, Teacher Alison, like chanting as I was driving away. I was like, you guys are the most affectionate little people. So cute, so cute. No te vayas would be reflexive as like, don't go, don't leave. Remember the story I told you about the reflexive of veer? I don't want to tell it again. It's super inappropriate. But,
Oh,
tell me, boy.
flashback.
Yes, but if you keep it singular, no vayas is just like don't go to the bathroom when we have a destination. But no te vayas is like don't leave. Long and the short is that this is a to command telling one person. Okay, so like Harry's about to get up and I'm like, Harry, no vayas al baño. Or si vas al baño, págame un peso, right? No converses con tus compañeros. So careful with this. This might be something you get wrong on the super site because you put the verb correct, no converses, but then you wrote su or a different form. You need to make sure you're possessive. Disagree. No le digas. What's this one saying? No le digas. Well, the picture, it's hard to find images that perfectly accompany with what I'm trying to convey. Como se dice?
Or don't copy.
Now I'd use copiar, copies. But como se
Don't
dice?
tell a friend.
Don't tell, right? And I'm emphasizing my question, como se dice, digas. Because dice and digas come from the same verb. They mean the same thing. So when I say como se dice, no le digas, I'm saying what? Don't what? Don't tell your classmate the answers, right? No le digas. So our pronoun goes before a negative command. And then we have digas. What do we know about digas? And tengas, and pongas, and salgas, and vengas. Those are the go verbs. So even with the go verbs, like I said, this is exactly the same. And just to add, I'm going to take out estoy de acuerdo out, and I'm going to add a new phrase up here because, or maybe not, because this is a great phrase to know. In English, when we're talking, I'll take out tango and a time. When we're talking about, when we're talking amongst friends in English, especially girls, and we're gossiping, you know, like you'll never believe what happened. And you tell a story about what somebody did, and in English we say, oh no, she didn't, or something like that. In Spanish, they say, and it doesn't translate the same, but they say, no me digas. Don't what?
Tell me.
Do not tell me she did that. For example, no me digas. That's your reaction, like, for real? No me digas. That's a good one to know when you're like, oh my God. Okay? ¿Entienden? Digas. No hagas tu trabajo in Google Translate. Don't what?
Copy your word, or don't do your
Don't
word.
translate.
Don't.
More general. ¿Cómo se dice hagas? Comes from what verb? It's hacer, which means what? Don't do your homework on Google Translate, right? No hagas. No? Hacer hagas. So to form a negative command, it's the same thing. Go the O, drop the O, change it to the opposite of what you know. It's just like the subjunctive of the to form. Just remember the letter S. Es fácil. Nothing new. Context is different, okay? That's the only thing that's changed. But now, and then we have, you know, our goes and the yo. Speaking of girls, mean girls, if you're like, no vengas a mi fiesta. You're telling this girl that you're not getting along with, don't what?
Come to my party.
Do not come to my party. No vengas a mi fiesta. Okay. Or let's say Cecilia is your hot roommate, and you have a crush on her, and you see her taking out the trash. You're like, Cecilia, no saques la basura. Yo no saco la basura por ti. Sacar, saque. So same rules. Car verbs, gar verbs, pagar. You're on a date. You finally got Cecilia to go out with you, and you're like, Cecilia, no pagues. Yo pago. Okay? Pague, gar verbs, cruzar. I know. Cecilia. But you know I use Cecilia because it's this sound. Cruces. So we probably won't use almorzar, but cruzar we're definitely going to use. The verb cruzar would be cruces. You're walking down the street with Cecilia. She's about to cross on Calhoun, and a car's coming. You're like, Cecilia, no cruces. Don't cross the street, you'll die. Okay. Estes, no vayas. Cecilia, no te vayas. Don't leave me. You're a little extreme. No seas, no veas. Okay. So, I know. Just building on it. Trying to captivate me. No me digas. Pronouns go in front of the conjugated verb. That's nothing new. This is all the same. And then, moving on. This is where you have to learn new verb conjugations. Telling someone you know to do something. Okay? For example, en la clase español, habla español. So again, we're talking about what kind of commands? Who are we talking to? Multiple people? You. Just one person, right? La forma de tú. That's why they're informal, right? Tú. Habla español is saying what? Speak Spanish. But what do we know about habla? So it doesn't look like it's in the what form?
It doesn't look like in the two, but if you're in Costa Rica,
you actually, right, exactly. Or the difference is saying tú hablas español versus habla español. Okay, so when I say tú hablas español, I'm saying you speak Spanish, right? Tú hablas español, no? And you're like, sí, and I'm like, pues habla español. So then I'm saying what? speak Spanish, right? Tú hablas español, no? Well, habla español, por favor. So the difference is the tone. Instead of saying you speak Spanish, right? I'm saying speak Spanish. And the way, obviously, context and the way I'm saying it, but this verb, taking that S off the verb, now means business. Now I'm telling you to speak Spanish. So when you drop the S on the to form, now it's a command, okay? Ejemplo, escribe oraciones originales en tus composiciones. So normally it'd be like, tú escribes, right? You write, but then I'm saying escribe, now I'm saying right, just to one person. Original sentences. Okay, irregular. Haz la tarea del supersitio. What am I saying here? Do your supersite homework. Because of context, we know what's being said, but this verb is really weird. Haz means to do, and it's just the to command form of hacer. So we've been seeing haga, hagas, etc. But now we have to learn this totally weird one, H-A-Z. And it's just pronounced as, like A-S almost, likely. Ve al laboratorio de CSL. Ve means what? So we talked about no vayas, no te vayas, but now we're saying go. Ve, which is totally irregular. Ve means go. Oh, I should add another phrase up here. This is not appropriate in Latin America. Latin America is not vulgar, and they don't cuss a lot, but remember, joder tío, that's Spain, okay? Another one would be, I'll take out obvio, because it's so obvio. Another one is, vete a la mierda, which is strong. Vete is strong. It's the verb irse, reflexive ir. Okay, so it's beyond just go, but it's basically go. We're just making it reflexive. Vete a la mierda is go to hell in Espanol. Mierda really means shit. Mierda is like caca fuerte, okay? But mierda, in this context, we translate as go to hell. Vete a la mierda, that's a command.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
That's a command. You're like really angry at somebody, and this is only in Spain. Joder and vete a la mierda, don't ever say that. In Latin America, it's way too offensive and strong. I don't hear people, well, at least when I was in Spain, I heard people cuss all the time. But not in Latin America, hardly ever to never, and they never would say that. They don't even say culo, they say culo in Spain. In Latin America, they say nalgas, like butt cheeks versus ass. Okay. Participa, participar, participas, participa. No? Singular. Llega. So, who's this command for? There's two people I can think of, but we're just going to single out one. Lately, Aaron. Aaron. Here, Aaron, llega a clase a tiempo. So am I talking to the whole class?
No.
No, I'm singling her out. Aaron, llega a clase a tiempo. So to form an affirmative to command, you're going to go to the to form, drop the S, now you're done. No need to guess. A student in my other, actually, SNAP class years ago came up with this rhyme. Go to the to, drop the S, now you're not, no need to guess. But basically, you're putting it in the to form, and you have to put it in the to form because why? Stem changing. Dormir, duerme, okay? It's like the indicative. But another one I want to point out, these are the total irregulars. So we talked about as, ten, di, pon, sal, ben. What do these verbs have in common? These three-letter words. Ten, paciencia. Tener. Okay, so tener. Dile.
This is precious.
Well, don't worry about that. What about pon? I'll do one with poner, tener, sal, salir, venir. What do those verbs have in common? Yeah, the go. These are go verbs. Even diga is just di. That's tell. Tell her. Dile. Or pon la mesa or sal or ven. Ven a mi fiesta. Come to my party. Ven acá. Come here. Ven. So they're just like the go verbs, they just don't have the go part. They're totally irregular. But they're not that hard to remember because we've been using tenga, venga, salga, ponga, whatever, diga. And now we're just taking that second syllable off. Di. Dime la verdad. Tell me the truth. When you're talking to Cecilia, you find out she's cheating on you. Okay? All right. And then pronouns. I should have put this one up here because I know you've heard cállate. I'm sure you've heard cállate before, right? Cállate, what does cállate even mean?
It's not like
Be quiet. Right, exactly. It means be quiet. Cállate. Cállate is the verb callarse, but now we're using it as a command. Be quiet. Like, Harry, cállate. Let's say you're talking. Just to pick on somebody else, you know, gotta keep it fair. Cállate. Callarse is the reflexive verb, so when you're telling somebody to do something with a pronoun, the pronoun goes where? Where are all these pronouns in these examples? At the end. At the end. Only with commands they're attached to the end. No me digas, the pronoun goes before when it's negative, but when you're telling somebody to do something, it's going to go at the end. Okay? All right, bueno, and you have accent marks you have to deal with when you do that. Okay, bueno.